on UCF Sports Night, in a class by herself, we profile the women's basketball team's head coach, Joi Williams. And we sit down with women's soccer coach Amanda Cromwell and her All-American senior, Becca Thomas, to talk about their spectacular season. All that and more next on UCF Sports Night.
UCF Sports Night is brought to you by UCF TV.
Hello and welcome to UCF Sports Night. I'm Jeff Sharon. Thank you so much for hanging out with us. With the holidays right around the corner, it was a very light week of action here at UCF. Of course, the football team continued their preparations for the St. Petersburg Bowl against Rutgers on December 19th. Only 2 live games taking place, and both of them involving the basketball teams. First, we hop over to UCF Arena, where the men's basketball team welcomed an old rival, the Bethune-Cookman Wildcats. A tough matchup for the Knights during finals week against the Cats, who hung tough with UCF all night. But A.J. Tyler led the way for UCF. He led all scorers with 18 points on 7 of 11 from the field, and he also pulled down 6 rebounds. 3 other Knights also hit for double figures. Isaac Sosa was 4 of 9 from the field, including 3 threes for 13 points, and A.J. Rompsa scored a dozen, including a perfect 6 of 6 from the line. P.J. Gaynor also pitched in with 10 points. The Knights led by 7 points at halftime and continued to hold the Wildcats at bay, going on to the victory. Final score 63-50 in the first ever meeting between these 2 old rivals in the new UCF Arena.
Yeah, we really picked up our defensive intensity towards the end, and that's something that we need to change as a team because, we were starting to feel like, the game might slip. We were in danger of maybe losing the game, and that's when we picked it up.
Meanwhile, down in Boca Raton, the women's basketball team had an in-state challenge of their own against Florida Atlantic, and it was a tough battle as FAU got the 2-point win. UCF trailed by as much as 15 points late, but rallied back, but the rally fell short. Asia Patrick lit up the Owls for 12 points, 8 rebounds, 5 steals, and 2 assists. Chelsea Wiley and Emma Cannon had 13 points apiece. However, the Knights could not overcome FAU's 51% clip from the field as they suffer their 3rd loss of the season. And of course, for more news, scores, and features from every UCF sport, all you got to do is log on to www.ucfathletics.com, your online home for UCF sports. Coming up next here on UCF Sports Night, she led the women's basketball team from also-rans to conference champions. We got a look at head coach Joi Williams when UCF Sports Night returns. Knight fans, UCF is going bowling. The Knights are heading to the St. Petersburg Bowl to take on Rutgers on Saturday, December 19th at 8 p.m. under the dome at Tropicana Field. You can find out more, including ticket information, at 407 UCF 1000 and at www.ucfbowl.com. Welcome back to UCF Sports Night. When Joi Williams took over as the new head women's basketball coach here at UCF, she inherited a team that had won just 15 of its previous 58 games. So she rebuilt the program from the ground up with a group of young players whom she molded into conference champions in just her 2nd year on the job. It took a lot of hard work to form those players into a winning machine, and the education process goes on every day. We got a closer look at Coach Williams in our Sports Night Spotlight.
Coach Williams is a great coach because she's a leader. Like I said, she has a strong mind. She's determined, and she motivates all of her athletes and all of her players in whichever way possible, whether it's getting on us in practice. And she knows it's all for the best, and that's what makes her a good coach.
She's like a mama to us, She makes sure that her girls are doing good, how her babies are. So I think that, and then she talks to us sometimes like we're adults. Sometimes when we need to be talked like kids, she tells. But it's just something about her that we just respect her in every single way. And I think that in order to be a really good coach, you have to have respect no matter what. And she gets that from us 100%.
I've never seen so much determination in my life, and it makes you just jump on board. You're like, okay, well, if she want to win so much, so do I. You know, it's just, she's like, she will do anything. She's relentless. And I know that if she could play, she would play 40 minutes for us. And that's something that you can't say about every coach you meet.
She's very confident in the way she walks, the way she presents herself, so we feel as though we follow our leader. So we all become very confident in what we do, and we practice and we work hard enough to be confident in what we do, so that's why we're very confident.
She's just a role model. She can be like a mother, a friend, a coach. It's just so many, you know, cards she can play. And I think that's why I look up to her, because she's so many like tricks to her trade. It's just, and then the wonderful person on and off the court. She just makes you admire her and want to like follow in her footsteps.
Toughest part about practice is she's always on you, no matter what. It doesn't matter if you're doing good, bad, or whatever. She's always going to be on your back, which is good in a way, because if she's on you, that should make you happy, because when she's not talking to you is when you need to worry.
I know every time we come in the huddle, we're talking, we say together, because that's the only way. Together. Let's go. Winning last year's conference, you know, that means a lot to us. And it means a lot to us to go out here and compete again. And I just think that we're older now, we're more mature, we're not those freshmen. It gets tougher, but now we're mentally equal with the physical.
As long as we play into her game plan and continue doing what she has for us, because she always prepares us for whatever we have in our way. So it will be a lot better as long as we continue listening to her and the rest of the coaching staff.
Well, that's a look at Coach Williams through her players' eyes, and now we get to actually talk to Coach Williams herself, joining us for the first time this year on UCF Sports Night. Coach, how are you?
Fine, Jeff. How are you?
Good. Thanks for coming on board. First question I wanted to ask you, we heard a little bit of, the behind the scenes with the players. Aside from the usual things that you want your players to get done, getting their degree, getting out, getting a job, and helping the team win championships, what are your goals that you set forth for your players that you want them to achieve after 4 years?
Well, the main thing, and one thing that really drives me, and one reason I really love coaching young women, is that they come in as girls, and what I like to see is I like to see them leave as women, and that really makes me feel good. That really, it's a great feeling when you see them down the road and they go out and they're very productive and they can make good decisions and that kind of thing. So we want them to come in, we want them to leave better than they came in as people, and with a lot more confidence in what they're going forth to do.
The other impression that I got, and I know you see this every day, they are a tight group, but tell us really, how close are they?
They're very close. I mean, sometimes almost to a fault, but we talk about accountability a lot, and when you have a team that close, sometimes that can be a little bit of a challenge, but for the most part, I'm very pleased with their chemistry. They really care about each other, and it's very genuine. You can see that, and we get that when we bring recruits in. When people are around our team, they really can feel the unity and how much they're a family.
I know they've been through a lot, too, and that's certainly part of it, don't you think?
Well, they have. They came in, a group of them, the 7 juniors, juniors came in as freshmen together, so they went through a lot. They made that transition together, and then even the 3 sophomores that we have are very close to them. They came in because they went through so much last year as a group, the way we started out, and then to go through the experiences they had and how we finished the season really brought them pretty close together, so it's fun to watch.
First few games of non-conference are in the books now. You still have a couple more to go, but give me your evaluation of the team so far through the non-conference schedule.
Well, so far, we've done some pretty good things. Obviously, as a coach, you always think about the things that you need to get better at in a hurry in order to be successful during the conference season, but pretty pleased with how we've been playing in some spots defensively. We've got some work to do, but just overall proud of our team in terms of being coachable and us and wanting to learn more to get better.
And like you said, a couple of those big non-conference games finishing up here, Florida State, Notre Dame. What are you looking forward to get done in those 2 matchups?
Well, we certainly have big challenges ahead of us. We're excited to bring Florida State and Notre Dame into the UCF arena, and hopefully we'll get some good crowd support. But those games are going to be very challenging. They're both big teams, very good teams, top 10 teams. So we're excited about the opportunity. We played some very good teams last season. We saw from our NCAA experience that we could compete with those type teams. So we've got to go out and play. With those teams, you don't have very much room for error, but we know that in order to be successful, we've got to play very well.
Well, I know it's going to be fun seeing you guys match up with them on the home floor, too, and we're looking forward to a couple of great ball games coming up as we head conference plays right around the corner.
We're excited about it. We're very excited to move into the new year and start hopefully the a successful Conference USA season.
All right, Coach Joi Williams, thank you so much for taking some time for us, and best of luck, and we'll see you when conference play starts.
Thank you, Jeff.
All right, stick around. Coming up next here on UCF Sports Night, we're going to talk a little women's soccer with Coach Amanda Cromwell and her All-American midfielder Becca Thomas. That and plenty more when we return. Knight fans, UCF is going bowling. The Knights are heading to the St. Petersburg Bowl to take on Rutgers on Saturday, December 19th at 8 p.m. under the dome at Tropicana Field. You can find out more, including ticket information, at 407 UCF 1000 and at www.ucfbowl.com. Welcome back to UCF Sports Night. Joining me now for a look back at the women's soccer regular season in 2009, head coach Amanda Cromwell and also Becca Thomas, who was just recently named to the All-American team. Both of you guys, congratulations on a great season. Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Coach, we'll start with you. Now that the season's in the books, give me your evaluation of how the season, in general, how it went.
I mean, overall, we have to be excited about it. It's tough, you know, the way we lost in second round because we had goals to go further than that. So we're still getting over the little bit of that hurt and bitterness of that, not hosting and a lot of things like that. But I mean, top 10 in the country, one Conference USA, just a lot of awards that have been given out. So across the board, you know, one of our best seasons ever.
It was a great season overall. I know it was a lot of fun for us being there and watching, especially when you guys won the conference regular season championship and also getting to see players like you, Becca. Congratulations on the All-American Award once again. What does that award mean to you?
I mean, it's pretty big. Alini won it last year, so that was exciting. We were all really excited for her. It was kind of a shock. I mean, a lot of our goals this year, like I know for myself, were more team-oriented, and like I just wanted to win, like really, and make a big impact, which we did. So I don't know, I wasn't focusing on it, but it's definitely an honor.
What a great group of seniors, Coach. How much are you going to miss them?
We're going to miss them a lot. You know, there's 7 girls that had a great impact on the team on and off the field, and you know, they're all very unique too. Different kinds of players, and I feel like different personalities off the field, so they really blended together really well and made a nice leadership core.
Becca, how is the team where you and the other seniors where you wanted to leave it as you guys now head off to the real world, so to speak?
Yeah, there's a lot of different goals we had as seniors that we kind of wanted to implement into the program and like teach the underclassmen, like this is how you kind of like do it here at UCF, I guess. So I think we've definitely laid like foundation, and it's up to them now to build it from where it's at. You
had a lot of great freshmen and younger players this year, Coach. Now you look forward to the spring of 2009 or spring of 2010 already.
Crazy.
And I know in the summer and fall, all before you know it, next season's right around the corner. So what do you guys have on the agenda to get those young players again back up to speed in preparation for 2010?
After the Christmas break, to come back, you know, we start our 8-hour week and we'll do some lifting and running, those kind of things. After that, we'll get into our, 20-hour week, and we had some great spring games on tap, some international games. We're looking at Notre Dame and UNC coming down. There's a Canadian team, a team from Norway. So they'll have a lot of competition, and the great thing is girls that didn't play as much in the fall will be able to test themselves against some very good competition. And then going into the summer, they, you know, a lot of it's on their own because of NCAA rules, but they'll be around working camps and playing pickup and in the weight room with Tracy and working really hard. So we're excited for the spring.
Oh, it's a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun watching you guys this year. Congratulations once again on a conference regular season championship, making it to the NCAA another time. Congrats on the All-American Award, and we're looking forward to seeing you guys once again in 2010.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Head coach Amanda Cromwell and Becca Thomas of the UCF women's soccer team. Don't go away. Coming up next here on UCF Sports Night, we got to look ahead to our Plays of the Week, and a very special edition too. Stick around. We've got that and plenty more when we return. Knight fans, UCF is going bowling. The Knights are heading to the St. Petersburg Bowl to take on Rutgers on Saturday, December 19th at 8 p.m. under the dome at Tropicana Field. You can find out more, including ticket information, at 407 UCF 1000 and at www.ucfbowl.com. Welcome back to UCF Sports Night. Our plays of the week are on the way in just a moment, and also we have a look at the next few weeks ahead. Hard to believe that we're already almost in the year 2010. Incredible. First, let's take a look at some news and notes from the week. In football news, defensive lineman Bruce Miller has been named Conference USA's Defensive Player of the Year. The junior from Canton, Georgia, led the league in sacks and tackles for loss, and is the first Knight to ever be named the conference's Defensive Player of the Year. Miller ranks 5th in the nation in sacks with 12 and is 5th all-time in UCF history with 26 career sacks. Miller is just one of 12 Knights taking home Conference USA honors for 2009. 4 of them, including Miller, offensive tackle Ja Reed, defensive lineman Jarvis Geathers, and linebacker Corey Hogue, were named to the All-Conference First Team. Defensive back Josh Robinson and defensive tackle Terrell Troop made the second team. 5 players received honorable mention from the conference, including linebackers Derek Hallman and Lawrence Young, running back Bryn Harvey, quarterback Brett Hodges, and long snapper Charlie Hewlett. Also, offensive lineman Theo Goins joined Josh Robinson on the conference's all-freshman team. Speaking of freshman awards, Robinson was also named to the College Football News Freshman All-America team. His 6 interceptions and 14 passes defended this season were tops in the nation among true freshmen. Also, his fellow freshman defensive back, Kamal Ishmael, received honorable mention from College Football News as well. And the softball team has released its schedule for the 2010 season. The Knights start their year on February 12th at the NTC Elite Invitational in Claremont against some of the best teams in the nation, including Oklahoma, UCLA, Tennessee, and Georgia. The Knights also host a pair of tournaments at the softball complex, February 19th through 21st and March 5th through 7th. Conference play begins March 12th against Memphis, and the Knights also welcome CUSA foes Houston, ECU, and Tulsa to Orlando, plus non-conference opponents Florida, Florida State, and Ohio State, among many others. To see the complete schedule for the softball team, visit UCFathletics.com. Time for a special edition of our Plays of the Week, the top 3 plays from football season. Play number 3 against Tulane. What a defensive performance by the Knights as they hold the Green Wave to just 50 total yards on 51 plays en route to a 49-0 win on Senior Day. It was the most lopsided shutout in Conference USA history. Play number 2 against Marshall, down 6 with just 23 seconds left after a miraculous fumble recovery. Brett Hodges finds a wide-open Rocky Ross for the game-winning touchdown. And the Knights go on to the victory over the Thundering Herd, 21-20 on national TV. Play number 1 from the upset win over Houston. Hodges again hits Quincy McDuffie, who goes up and gets it in the middle of 3 defenders for a 23-yard touchdown. And that put an exclamation point on the Knights' first ever victory over a top 25 ranked team. And those are your Sports Night Plays of the Week. Basketball and football are the stories as we look at the week ahead. Action begins Wednesday night with hoops. As the women are at home for a big one, they take on the Florida State Seminoles in UCF Arena. Tip is at 7 p.m. and you can see the game live on UCFathletics.com. Meanwhile, the men's team is in Tampa for a big rivalry game. They face the USF Bulls in the Sun Dome. Tip for that game is at 7 p.m. as well, and you can hear it on the Knights' flagship station, 740 The Game. This week, tune in for UCF Sports Today with Coach George O'Leary. Join the coach and Pat Clark for a preview of the Knights matchup with Rutgers in the St. Petersburg Bowl. The show airs throughout the week on UCF TV, Bright House Sports Network, and Sun Sports. Check your local listings for times in your area. And of course, Saturday, a huge week of bowl activities for the football team comes to a conclusion with the Knights taking on Rutgers in the 2009 St. Petersburg Bowl. Kickoff at Tropicana Field in St. Pete is set for 8 p.m. And if you can't make it to the Dome, you can hear the action live on the Knights flagship station, 740 The Game, or see it on ESPN. You can also get more information at www.ucfbowl.com. After the St. Pete Bowl, action continues back on campus with women's hoops as the Knights face Jackson State at the arena on Sunday. Tip-off is at 1 p.m. and you can see it live on UCFathletics.com. Meanwhile, the men's team is up in Hartford, Connecticut for a big matchup with National Power UConn. Tip for that game is also at 1, and you can hear it on 740 The Game. UCF Sports is off then for the holidays, but basketball kicks back into action with a doubleheader on December 29th. First, the women's team faces the Fighting Irish of Notre Dame at UCF Arena. Tip is at noon for that game, and you can see it on UCFathletics.com. Then after that, at 7 p.m., the men's team takes on Liberty in their first game of the UCF Holiday Classic. Again, you can see the game live on UCFathletics.com or hear it on 740 The Game. The following day, the men's team plays its second game of the two-day UCF Holiday Classic against either Buffalo or Jacksonville, depending on the results from Tuesday. Tip-off time is also dependent on Tuesday's action. Either way, you can see it live on UCFathletics.com or hear it on 740 The Game. And for all the latest news, scores, and features from every UCF sport, log on to UCFathletics.com, your 24/7 online home for UCF sports. And make sure you tune in to UCF Sports Night next week as we go on the road to the St. Petersburg Bowl. We'll have a full recap of all the action from the week, including the sights and sounds from the events leading up to the Bowl by the Bay when UCF plays against Rutgers at Tropicana Field. It's a special St. Pete Bowl edition of UCF Sports Night next week. And of course, if you want to catch this edition again or you want to see any of our archived editions of UCF Sports Night, you can anytime you want online. All you've got to do is visit UCF TV's website, which is at www.ucf.tv. Well, that's going to do it for us for this week here on UCF Sports Night. We'll catch you again next week. For all of us here at UCF Athletics and UCF TV, I'm Jeff Sharon saying thanks for watching and go Knights!
Hey, this is LT from 101.1 WJRR. You're listening to the best sounds of area music. UCF Athletics, Access Magazine, and WJRR are proud to support local artists. You can find more great artists by going online at www.wjrr.com and also accessmag.com, and by listening to Native Noise each and every Sunday at 11 o'clock.
UCF Sports Night is brought to you by UCF TV.